Oh, thank you for waiting through the freaking technical difficulties I was having. Oh, God. Hello, Void Dweller Nakituna. Zarmagus. Welcome back to Chaos Head Noah. Oh, God. First, the microphone was fucking up. It wasn't connecting properly. Hello, Fasto. Hello, Saya. Welcome to the stream. Oh, my God. Then, it was like Chaos said, was like, oh, you have to have Steam executed to play the game. I'm like, well, fuck off. And then I have to freaking have Steam open. Oh, God. And Steam, of course, has to update, because when does Steam not have to update? Oh my God! And to get in the spirit of Chaos Head, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, start chapter 7, Psychopath. Last time on Chaos Head, freaking Takumi was invited to the top of the roof to freaking grab a sword in his destiny, but no, the stupid bullshit ass motherfucking asshole fucking bullshit bitch ass fucker. And I can say this all because it's past 1 minute. And the fucking God. Stupid SEIRA. Oh my God. She talked him down and she was like saying, oh, don't worry about your sister. Just stupid asshole bitch. You just stay right at home fat to me. Blah, blah, blah. I'm so evil. Fucking hell. Oh, I wanted to have to fucking kill that stupid figure. God. To get in the mood of chaos, as always, I have my newest model, the real grade Evangelion Unit 2, right beside me. And she will not be so fucking mean. You're Asuka's mom. You won't be so fucking mean and tell me to do evil shit. Like freaking sacrifice people. God. Alright, let's get back into it. Despite midnight quickly approaching, the ticket gates of the subway's Hanzomon line were still filled to the brim with people. The earthquake had violently disrupted the public transportation schedules, and no one was even attempting to hide their frustration as they passed through the ticket gates. Oh boy. Employing a sidelong glance, Bon Yasaji inspected the monitor resting in the station attendant booth. Thank you, Zarmagus! You get it! Hey, jeez. The station staff had received a call yesterday during their morning operations. The caller had reported that a high school girl wielding a gigantic bladed weapon was going on a rampage. Oh my God! Is it Senna? Going on a rampage in the area. The police had been dispatched in response to this, but on arriving they found no trace of her, nor the man who had supposedly been attacked. Oh God, either Senna or someone else was trying to fight someone responsible. God, I wonder if it was Remy also. Also, we've had more and more inklings that Remy might be basically somebody that Takumi brought into existence based on his non-remembering of her. It's exactly like the flower bed. Nobody else remembered the flower. Everyone remembered the flower bed except for him. I wonder if it's going to be some kind of paranoia Asian thing, and Remy and SEIRA are two sides of the same coin. Anyway, just random ass theories. Bon, who had happened to overhear the story earlier today, was very interested in the appearance of the male victim. The fact that there had been several similar incidents had also caught his attention. This was why Bon was making an appearance here at such such an hour. According to his sources, the incident had been captured in full on one of the surveillance cameras. When Bond asked the station attendant to show him the video, they willingly agreed, warned the detective that the video was a little creepy. Duly noting this, Bond elected to have them show him the video. The video was full of static.
Maybe it's from the earthquake,
Bond thought to himself. There have been various reports about the earthquake causing citizens to lose hard disk data, leaving Bond to wonder whether it was related. It would be difficult to identify anyone in the recording, as they were just barely visible. The recording featured a single man, standing by the wall in the far right-hand corner of the screen. The wall was located slightly far from the ticket gates, meaning passengers would not travel past it very often as they were changing trains. Incidentally, a few other passengers just crossed in front of the camera. Ooh, oh, yep, it's one of the dudes carrying the fucking mind control things. The little gun nodes. The man's appearance was hard to make out due to the fierce static, but he was fairly short and thin and was carrying a large rucksack. What exactly he was doing, Bond could not say. So it probably was Senna. After about an hour or so had passed in the video, a small change occurred. A few people commuting to work were walking in the direction of the man. And then they swiftly stopped. To Bond, it looked as if they had been drawn to the man with the rucksack. It was truly strange, however, they did not even speak to him. They simply stood there in a daze. Yep, it was his mind control thing now. The people who had stopped did not seem to be acquaintances of the man. They were of different ages, sexes, statures. There's absolutely nothing they all shared.
What in blazes is going on?
Staring at the monitor, Bond tilted his head to the side, and as he did so, a lone girl entered the frame. Yeah, long hair. Yep, it's Senna. And she was wearing a uniform from Suime Academy. She's hunting down the frickin' mind control nodes. The girl headed straight for the man with the rucksack in a manner that could only be described as exuding nothing but pure, unadulterated confidence. Hell yeah. Her movements were entirely unlike those who had stopped before. Instead of halting, the girl pushed aside the people gathered there and seized the man by his collar. For a short period of time, the two of them argued about something. Rather than an argument, however, it was far closer to the girl simply screaming at the man without giving him room for air, or at least that's how it appeared. A few of the people who had stopped seemed to return to their senses and probably left the scene. Eventually, the girl thrust the man away from her. The girl took a step back from the man who had fallen on his rear, then assumed a strange pose. Probably a sword pose. She lowered her hips and brought both fists next to her ears. The girl looked at her. She goes, "Oh, yep. Yeah, normal people can't see the D-sword." Holding something, but there was nothing in her hands, and it definitely can't be recorded either. According to the report, the girl had been wielding a large blade. Oh, really? I wonder who reported it then. It was someone who could see the D-sword. But where on earth could she be hiding such a thing? The answer to that soon became apparent. Oh, no. Oh, I see. She materialized it. There we go. Wow. So the swords, yeah, they literally are making something into reality, because if it's even caught on camera, then they literally are, like, using magic, basically. Because if it was an illusion, how could it possibly be caught on the camera? Suddenly the camera shook. It was not static. The rustling hair and clothes of the passersby made it clear. The surveillance camera itself was shaking.
What the?
Bond gawked at the screen. I know, she's so fucking cool. He had no idea where she retrieved it from. Next thing he knew, the girl was holding a gigantic sword in her hand. It was longer than she was tall. Bond asked for the tape to be rewound just so he could confirm what he had seen. Because, yeah, if they're clearly not just, like, mental illusions, then if it's caught on a fucking video camera. But no matter what angle he examined it from, the sword appeared to have been conjured out of thin air. The girl had not moved a single muscle. She remained in her hunched position the entire time. This much was undeniable.
What kind of magic trick is that?
The people in the video went into a panic when faced with the sudden appearance of the sword. But the girl did not seem to care about the people around her. The man with the rucksack, however, was very clearly terrified. He tried desperately to scramble to his feet and run away. But the girl would not allow that. With an incredibly agile movement, she pursued the fleeing man and swung her gigantic sword as if it was light as a feather. In a manner akin to a violent windstorm, sword tore the man's rucksack to pieces. The impact was so strong, the man immediately collapsed to the ground. Despite this, he appeared uninjured. In fact, when the police officers had arrived on the scene immediately after retrieving the call, they had not found even a single trace of blood. Okay, so it's like purely psychological sword. Like it doesn't physically hurt people, the sword, but I bet it does mentally. Like, it interferes with, like, psychic energy.
Who the hell is this girl? Holy fuck, anime is real.
Then, as if the girl had heard Bond's murmuring, something that should have been impossible considering it was a recording, she suddenly turned towards the camera. The screen ever so slightly distorted.
Ah!
The girl's figure disappeared in an instant. It was as if she had never been there to begin with. The man's shredded rucksack had been left behind, and the remnants of it were proof that the girl had been there. It was hard to tell because of the static, but it was clear that the girl had disappeared from the screen in less than a second. How the fuck? Like, she's got, like... Oh my god. We haven't seen, like, a full magic battle between two people with these swords. I wonder if we ever will. The girl had disappeared from the screen in less than a second. Bond rewound the tape again. There was nothing that seemed unnatural about the time display in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. In other words, the footage had not been edited. But if that were true, how could Bond explain the girl and the sword? It's magic! Bond, feeling as though he had seen a ghost, could do nothing more than remain completely and utterly puzzled. A world of complete and utter white. And I was lying right in the center of it all. Is this Takumi? It felt as if I were floating. I didn't know whether or not I actually was. I couldn't figure out what direction I was facing. Not up, nor down, nor left, nor right. The silence was deafening. It felt as if there were hundreds of insects buzzing around in my head at once. If someone were to tell me that this was the afterlife, I couldn't see myself contesting it. That was how. Monotonous, simplistic, tranquil, orderly, immaculate, empty, unpeaceful the world was. Perhaps this was what the mind of Buddha was like upon reaching enlightenment. It was so incredibly different from my own mind. I wanted to stay here forever. The irritation that came with reality, the loneliness, the pain, the suffering. I didn't want to face any of it anymore. As my thoughts began to cascade, I heard a noise burst into the white world that had previously been silent. I'm guessing this is Takumi. The sound of a door being opened. The sound of someone's footsteps getting closer and closer. Yep, it is. Big bro, I'm here! Oh God, oh God. Yeah, I think he's dreaming. Let's see. Oh God. Oh God. Takumi, why did you hate her so much before? And you should have treated her better. Hey, big bro. Okay, so today I decided to bring you something real nice. Alright, here it is. I got you a present. It's a hand-knit hat. It looks so nice and warm, doesn't it? Well, it is. Anyway, so the story is, you know how much I already like hats, right? Well, since it's winter and all, I went to knitted one. So go and try it on. He did, but then SEIRA convinced him he didn't, which is really pissed me off. Boy, yeah. Come on, don't ignore me. Hello, Mirage. Welcome to the stream. Oh, you've still got some food left over. And it's curry, too. You gotta make sure you eat up, alright? Hey, so is it true hospital food's not very good? I don't know. In all the hospital food I had, I thought it was pretty nice. Well, that's sad. But you still need to eat it. Come on, wake up, big bro. You couldn't move without eating. Your stomach's gonna end up growling in the middle of the night. Someone's hand made its way under my back and forcibly shook my body awake. That was when I first realized that my eyes had been closed. Her hand! What the fuck? Oh my god, is she a delusion? Oh my god. Oh my god. When I opened my eyes, a little girl was standing there. It was Nanami. My little sister. But she was awfully little. Oh, it's a flashback. It was Nanami from a long time ago. But how long ago, I wondered. She must have been at least in elementary school. Okay, say ah! The younger Nanami scooped up some curry with a plastic spoon, then offered it to me. Why? And I slapped the hand holding the spoon. Okay, are we gonna finally understand what his reasoning is here? Why he's just so mean to her? Even after all this time, I still didn't know what had been going through my head. But in that moment, I knocked away the tray of curry and rice with my hand and sent it crashing to the floor. Big bro, those are some real bad manners, you know. I'm gonna tell Mom. Nanami crouched down to the floor and picked up the tray I cast aside. She then retrieved a washcloth from the sink in the corner of the room and began cleaning up the mess I'd made. You're a real troublemaker, you know. I swear, you couldn't do a thing if I wasn't around, big bro. That's enough. God damn it, Takumi. How could you listen to that stupid toy? I covered my face with my hands and slowly closed my eyes. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you. Oh, God. I slowly opened my eyes and saw a white ceiling. It was so bright it nearly blinded me. I blinked my eyes a few times. I tried to move my fingertips. I raised my hand in front of my face. The palm of my hand created a shadow. At last I was free from the blinding glare. I had been dreaming about Nanami. Ever since I could remember, she'd had an especially strong will. After the bus accident back in elementary school, I stopped talking to anyone and everyone. But even so, that part of Nanami only became stronger and stronger. Unlike my parents, who were simply overprotective and nothing else, she'd taken care of me all while remaining strict and firm. But that dream... Had I ever been hospitalized before? I had gone for checkup, sure, but... Well, it was just a dream, so there was no real reason to take it, nor the contradiction, seriously. Uh-oh, he's missing some memories. I was lying on a bed. It was a white bed with a pipe frame. The sheets were white, the pillows were white, the linoleum floor was white, the wallpaper was white, the fluorescent lights on the ceiling were white, the curtains covering the windows were white. The small shelf next to the bed was white. The ceramic water pitcher was white. The paper cups were white. I was starting to get fed up with all the white. Mustering all my resolve, I attempted to sit up. For a split second, I felt numbing pain jolt through the area around my waist. When it went away, just as suddenly as it appeared. The room was fairly large, at least twice the size of my base. But what really bothered me was how incredibly dreary it was. Maybe it was a hospital room. There were a pair of green slippers lined up right beneath my bed. I was relieved to find a color other than white. My body was moving around just fine. It didn't seem like I was dead either. I was thirsty. I wanted a Coke. An ice cold carbonated Coke. But there was no way I'd be able to find something like that in this pure white room. So I was forced to pour water directly from the pitcher into my mouth. Jeez. He could have used the cups. It was a bit lukewarm, but it was enough to satisfy my thirst. Ooh, there's the nurse again. Upon finishing the water, I took a breath. The door then opened and a nurse wearing white scrubs came into my room. That was enough for me to confirm that I was in hospital after all. Upon seeing me, her eyes grew slightly wide. She must have thought I would still be asleep. I see you've woken up, Nishijo-san. Facing me, she gave me a gentle smile, the mark of a true nurse. Something told me I'd seen this person before. Yeah, you have, at the hospital, with the doctor that died. Oh, the grill. My God. Oh, I remembered her now. She was the grill who'd been at the hospital when I'd gone to see Dr. Takashina a while back. What had she said her name was? I couldn't remember, so I stole a glance at her name tag on the chest. Hazuki was written on it. Right, Hazuki-san. How are you feeling? Hazuki-san held out a thermometer to me so naturally I couldn't help but take it. Could you please stick this under your arm for me? How nicely she'd asked me. I had no choice but to comply. My head was overrun with question marks, but I put the thermometer inside my armpit nonetheless. Immediately after I did so, a memory burst to life inside my head. I remembered what had happened. Wow, this is like... Speaking of Evangelion, jeez. Oh my God. Did he get the sword after all? Did he kill ShoUgun? I had given up on saving Nanami. I had grabbed onto ShoUgun's wheelchair. But there had been no response. It had collapsed into a heap, and when I looked again, all I'd been holding was Darth Spider's helmet. Count Darth Spider, the very bottom of evil in Spark Wars. His black-clad appearance was famous even in Japan. I never thought that ShoUgun would cosplay as him, so my anger had been overridden by raw confusion. He probably just used the voice changer. I'll just use like a cheap voice changer. After that, I'd stood up and looked at the wheelchair, but there had been no one in it. Only a black hood draped over the... There had to be someone there, because in the bad endings, they actually killed him. That was another part of Darth Spider's costume. And then examined my surroundings one more time, but there had been no one there. I had been the only one on that pitch black rooftop. Ooh, evil smiles. Suddenly the press then came flooding all at once. Oh my God. It surrounded me with lights, cameras, and microphones. I had no room to breathe. There had been more than 10 of them in total. So overwhelmed by it all, my terror simply grew and grew. I wanted to run away, but I couldn't move a muscle. I'd been a total mess. Did he go get the sword?
Nishijo-kun, what happened to your clairvoyance?
Does this mean that you don't know who the Doonjiang culprit is after all?
Could that dark spider helmet have something to do with your psychic powers?
It's weird because he actually does have psychic powers.
Nishito-san, would you please answer our questions? If you claim to have nothing more to say, you realize I've wasted a lot of time and money, right?
What was all this for? Was it a publicity stunt to take advantage of New Gen? Don't you find that to be completely inappropriate?
Have you spoken with Yuri Bryman recently? What did you two talk about? Do you think there's a connection between the earthquake and New Gen?
Oh god, they can see the figure! Oh no! Fucking kill it. Chuck it. Chuck it! Would I be right in assuming the anime girl figure you're holding in your hand is some kind of totem you're using in a ritual?
Does anime or video games have any kind of influence on this behavior of yours? Nishito-san!
Nishito-san! Oh jeez.
Nishito-kun!
The lighting pointed at me had been incredibly hot. I'd felt as if my skin was being singed by the sun during the hottest part of summer. The flood of people from the media made me feel lightheaded. My field of vision had been spinning around in circles. I'd been cornered. I'd been panicking. I'd been unable to breathe. I'd grasped my head. I can't see anything. I don't want to see anything. I can't hear anything. I don't want to hear anything. I can't feel anything. I don't want to feel anything. Stop. Leave me alone! Ooh, here we go. At the very same moment I'd screamed, like a computer that had short-circuited my consciousness had severed. Oh, damn it. He heard himself in his own confusion. Fuck. That was exactly what had happened. I'd lost consciousness. And then, how would I end up here at this hospital? I couldn't remember. At the very least, I didn't think I'd come on my own, so maybe I'd been brought to the hospital by an ambulance. Hazuki-san was writing something on the clipboard she was holding. She must have had a slip of paper clipped onto it. Was she writing about my condition? I checked what time it was via the simplistic watch wrapped around her wrist. It was a little after 6 a.m. I'd slept for a really long time. A delusion here? Regardless, why had I been brought here? If Hazuki-san was here, that means this was my normal hospital. It wasn't like me being brought to a general hospital was particularly weird, but something still didn't feel right. Why was Hazuki-san coming to check on me? That question really bothered me. I mean, Hazuki-san was a psychiatric nurse. Oh boy. I have a feeling, based on previous ones, what the green one will be. If Hazuki-san was coming to check on me, didn't mean that the room I was in was also used by psychiatric patients. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be negative. Because that might help him get out of here. I've been informed that the police would like to speak with you. Huh? Hazuki's gentle tone turned ice cold. Without looking at me, she continued writing something on a piece of paper attached to a clipboard. Oh, yeah, this is totally a delusion. But we're not getting the wavy delusion lines. Wait a minute. Did ShoUgun frame him for murdering the sister? Oh my god. What? Wait, can you hear me or not, Nagitona? You would have to be a really horrible person to kill your own sister. What had she just said? Oh no! Fucking ShoUgun set him up. Uh-oh. Oh god, he's been framed for murder. Oh, you can't hear the in-game voices. That's really weird. They found her in your house. Her corpse. Oh no. Oh, they're all at maximum. Let's check all the in-game audio. Oh, here we go. I can maximize the voice volume here. Okay, here we go. Okay. Wait, you're not hearing any of the game audio at all? Oh, that is really... Oh, God. Wow. Oh, wait, never mind. Then let me just undo that. Hold on. Jeez. Oh, my God. I am so sorry. Jeez. Let me just put that back to where it was then. Oh my god. So yeah, whatever fucked up the microphone seemed to fuck up the connection with the game audio too. My god. Jeez. Alright. Her corpse. I'm hearing the game audio. What? Oh god. Wait, but he couldn't have been brought here for that reason. If they really suspected him that much, then shouldn't he be like handcuffed or something? You cut off your sister's hand and carried it around with you. That's not normal. I didn't kill anyone.
意味不明なことばかり言ってて話にならないって刑事さんがぼやいてました。
So you've claimed. The detective has been complaining about how useless it is to converse with you. You're saying nothing but incomprehensible nonsense.
心神喪失で無罪っていうのを狙ってるんですか？
Are you intending to plead not guilty by reason of insanity?
でもみんな思ってますよ。
Even if you do, it won't help. Everyone knows.
あなたが殺したんだって。
You killed her. Oh God. My chest squeezed tightly and I began to hallucinate that everything before my eyes had gone completely black. I was starting to doubt myself. Had I killed Nanami? No, that couldn't be true.
この人殺し。
You murderer. She had been writing something, but suddenly Hazuki's hand stopped. She then slowly turned the clipboard toward me. Oh God. Whoa! That's creepy. Oh God. Suddenly I realized I was sitting in the same bed in the same hospital room. I wasn't sure why the sheet I just ripped off me was still on me. Hazuki-san, who had been standing right beside the bed, had disappeared before I could even blink. Wiping aside the greasy sweat off my forehead, I looked around the hospital room once again. After a couple knocks, Hazuki-san entered the room and her eyes widened slightly upon seeing me.
あら。西條さん、目が覚めたんですね。
I see you've woken up, Nishijo-san. Really? Wait, but didn't she come in like before the delusion started? A gentle smile accompanied her as she said that. I stiffened up and looked away.
お体の調子はどうですか？
How are you feeling? Hazuki-san held out a thermometer to me so naturally I couldn't help but to... Oh, it's like repeated.
体温を測ってくださいね。
What the fuck? Could you please stick this under your arm for me? Oh. As I took the thermometer from her, I gulped. It's the same. The exact same thing before was repeating. It was as if Hazuki-san just walked in the hospital room for the first time. I nervously reached for the thermometer in my underarm. I was sure I had put a thermometer in there just a minute ago, and yet there was nothing there. The thermometer had disappeared. Which meant that what I'd seen earlier really had been a delusion. The tension of my body disappeared. It didn't mean that my state of mind was any better, nor did I feel anywhere close to being relieved.
昨日ご家族がお見えになっていたんですけど、
A family member of yours came to see you yesterday, but
西條さんの意識が戻らないので、日付が変わる頃にお帰りになりました。
as he didn't regain consciousness in time, they left around midnight. Really? So he's been unconscious for more than a day.
今日は診察時間が始まる頃にお母様が来るそうですよ。
Was it his sister that came to see him? Your mother informed us that she'll be arriving around the time we open. I nodded in response, not having the energy to say anything back. Mom, I'm sorry for being such a disgrace. I'm an embarrassment to Japan, no, to the entire world. The entire thing had been televised. Me had already spread to the entire country. I was sure my shameful behavior had been uploaded to YouTube as well. I had no idea why I'd have been made into the amazing Esper boy. Fucking ShoUgun. It didn't make any sense to broadcast my every move. On the day of a huge earthquake, no less, when I was nothing but a boring otaku freak. It wasn't normal. Because of that, I couldn't help but think that everyone from back then was being mind controlled by ShoUgun. It's possible. Regardless of whether or not that was true, I'd still publicly humiliated myself. It wasn't something I'd escape after during a quick shitstorm online that'd be forgotten about in a week. Was this it for me? Would I no longer be able to live in peace? Suddenly Nanami's face appeared at the back of my mind. I bit down on my lip and hugged my niece. Even if this was no longer attainable, as long as I could save Nanami, none of it would matter. Why'd you listen to fucking SEIRA? Even if people from all over the world snickered at me and called me a pathetic loser for the rest of my life, it would make no difference to me. But I couldn't save her. I couldn't even do that much.
Nana.
Hello, Shermia Beatrice. Welcome to the stream. Nana. Tears began to fall from my eyes.
どうしました？どこか痛みます？
What's wrong? Are you in pain? Shaking my head over and over, I kept on crying. Nanami was dead. Nanami was dead and she was never coming back. It was all my fault, all my fault, all my fault. Because of how worthless I was. Because of how much of a fucking loser I was. Nanami was dead. Back on the rooftop, I've given up so easily on obtaining the D sword. I had Serotone's seductive voice in my ear without just my pathetic self pretending to be someone else. I was the one who made the decision. I had made myself look like a pitiful victim. I chosen to sacrifice Nanami so that I would survive. I hated myself. How fucking pathetic I was. If only I'd tried just a little bit harder. I told myself that I'd given up on my own volition, but now that it was all over, I regretted every single thing I'd done on the rooftop, and there was no way for me to get around it. Oh, God. I was absolutely disgusted with myself. She was gone. Nothing could save her now, and yet even still I couldn't help but think that if I could just go back to that rooftop, and I just tried a little bit harder. Yes, do it! Do it! Oh my God, use your powers! But I knew that even if I actually could go back, I'd just give up all over again. Finding some other excuse to get me out of it. No! That was just who I was. A completely useless, irredeemable piece of shit.
Nanami.
Nanami, I'm so sorry.
Nanami.
Nanami. Oh. Hazuki-san rubbed my back in an attempt to comfort me. I was a useless sack of shit to the very end. I was even causing problems for the nurses that had nothing to do with me. The tears refused to stop.
何か後悔していることがあるんですね。
Ooh, let's see. There's something you regret, isn't there?
でもきっと妹さんも許してくれますよ。
Oh no! Oh God! Wait, does that mean she's alive? Huh? Or maybe she's a delusion, I don't know. Well, whatever it is, I'm sure your sister will forgive you. Huh? How did she know that Nanami was my sister? Even that aside, the formulaic consolation she was giving me was the last thing I needed right now. I'm sorry, Hazuki-san, but no one else can understand how I feel. The fact that she said a family member and not his sister. It leads me to believe that it actually is Nanami. And that she's somehow alive. But what is going on with the hand? Was it really a fake hand? If so, how did ShoUgun even know about the fucking, like, wasn't it her real fucking cell phone? Myself. I was pathetic. Did nothing but take advantage of everyone else and only ever thought about myself. The world would be better off without me. Maybe I should just end it all. There we go! She was very worried about you when she came in yesterday, Nishijo-san. Here we go. I hope she's not lying or something. You have the cutest little sister, don't you agree? What was she talking about?
ナナミは妹は死にました。
Nanami, my little sister, is dead. She'd been kidnapped by ShoUgun, her hand had been cut off, then she'd been in prison somewhere. And in the end, she died all alone and afraid. When I imagined it, felt like my heart was being torn into dozens of tiny pieces. Oh my goodness, is she really? This is confusing. Forgive me, I'm afraid I've made a terrible mistake. All my life I thought that Nanami was annoying. Although we had been siblings for 16 years. Even though she called me a jerk more times than I could count, she was always worried about me. He's finally realizing. Finally! Finally! Oh yes! Sweet character development. Here we go. The reason why she'd always nag me so much because she's been trying to help me break free from my toxic lifestyle. Whenever she brought me food from our parents' house, she didn't just give it to me and leave. She's always tried to share it with me. Normally, if a girl her age had an otaku freak for a brother, they'd never associate with him. And while the things she said didn't matter, make her the easiest person to be around, she'd still talk to me and she would listen too. Whenever I've been at school, she never avoided me. No, she would actually approach me. Oh my god, finally! No matter what, Nanami had always treated me, a vile otaku freak virgin, like her brother. Like a human being. Finally! Finally! Oh, thank God. I don't know if it's too late or not. Her mere existence had helped me more than I ever knew. But realizing that did me no good now. It was too late. But if that truly is the case, then what did she mean by big bro? Huh? Huh? I looked up, unable to properly comprehend what I had just heard. As my eyes were blurry with tears, I couldn't see Hazuki-san's face properly. What did she just said?
She
called out to you again and again as you slept. Big bro, big bro. I never would have thought she'd be anything other than your sibling. There was only one person who called me that.
それ本当ですか？
Are you telling the truth? Vaulting onto my bed, I pressed Hazuki-san for an answer.
はい、何がです？
I'm sorry? The truth about what?
ナナミが妹がナナミがここに来てたんですか？
Nanami! My sister Nanami! Was she here?
いえ、はっきりお名前を聞いたわけでは。
Well, I didn't hear her name properly, so I...
僕のことお兄って呼んでたんですね。
You said she called me Big Bro, right?
ええ。
Yes, I...
ナナミは今どこに？
Where is she now? Where's Nanami?
ですから、昨日はお帰りになりましたけど。
She went home yesterday.
西条さんのお母様と一緒に。
She left together with your mother.
怪我とかしてませんでしたか？
Injuries? Does she have any injuries?
はい。いえ、特には。
Huh? No, nothing that I could see.
元気だったんですね。ナナミは元気だったんですね。
So she was okay? Nanami was okay?
はい。いえ、ナナミさんかどうかはわかりませんけど、昨日いらしていた女の子は元気そうでしたよ。
Yes? Ask for a description. Although I should clarify, I'm not sure whether or not it was Nanami-san, but the girl you visited yesterday was doing just fine, yes? And Nanami was alive. From everything Hazuki had said, it had to be true. I sat down in bed, utterly dazed. But how? ShoUgun had said he wouldn't give Nanami back to me until I completed his quest. Had he just released her out of pity? Or had Nanami escaped on her own? But then how would that explain the hand that had been sent to me? It really must have been a fake hand. According to Hazuki-san, Nanami hadn't even been injured.
Did you ever consider that the hand I sent to your place was someone else's?
What he'd said, it hadn't been a lie. He'd played me. I'd been dancing right to his tune. But then in that case, how did he get the frickin' bracelet and phone? ShoUgun had deceived me. No, that didn't matter right now. You should ask Nanami when you see her if somebody stole her phone.
そっか。
I see. So that was it. It was all coming together. Nanami had never been kidnapped at all. Back when I'd been at Ofrun trying desperately to grab the D-sword, Nanami must have been relaxing back at home reading manga, or going out to karaoke with her friends so she could show off her shitty singing voice, or doing whatever she liked to do. I was crying, but I couldn't help but laugh.
西条さん
Nishiro-san? Are you alright?
将軍にまんまと騙された。
He got me. ShoUgun got me. Through and through.
なんという壮大な罪だよ。
Oh my god, I can't believe he's saying this like this. What unbelievably epic bait. She was alive. Nanami was alive. I could see that bratty ass face of hers again. I could hear that obnoxious, shrill voice of hers again. The mere thought was enough to bring me a deep sense of relief and an intense joy that rose from the bottom of my heart.
よかった。
Oh, thank God. I couldn't stop crying, but the tears weren't tears of regret I'd been crying earlier.
よかった。
Thank God. I was an utterly useless pile of shit, but I couldn't help it. The day before, I'd given up without even being able to do anything. But even so, as long as Nanami was alive, I didn't wish for anything else. The whole world could mock me until the end of time for all I cared. I was overjoyed. Thank God, she was safe. Oh my God, back to the police. Yet another meeting had been called in the main conference room of Shibuya Police Department. Joining one of multiple others that had been held today. The exhausted, fed-up detectives all wondered how many more hours worth of unproductive meetings they'll be forced to sit through. Matsunaga was about to start hearing the reports from each investigator when suddenly Bond hesitantly stood up and raised his hand.
Mind if I say something?
なんだね。
What is it?
Inquisitive eyes and expressions lit on Bond, not just from Matsunaga, but from Suwa and the detective sitting next to him as well. Bond smiled his usual flippant smile, quickly bowed his head, and then looked around the room.
先日インターネット上に投稿されたいわゆる集団ライブの映像についてなんですが、実はちょっとした発見をしまして。
I made a small discovery in the group dive video that was posted to the internet the other day. Huh?
Surprise on Suwa's face was evident. In all likelihood, he was surprised. After all, Bond examined the video without saying a word to him. It was not because he had wanted to keep it a secret from him, however, no.
バン警部補、君は確か貼り付けの捜査担当だったはずだが。
Assistant Inspector Bond, you're in charge of the crucifixion case.
なぜ集団ダイブについて
Oh, that's not him.
Why are you investigating the group dive?
This was the reason. Bond had disregarded orders he'd given by his boss, the head of the investigation team. If Bond had involved Suwa, a promising young new detective, his partner would have inevitably been harshly rebuked by their boss. Bond wanted to avoid this.
まあ、とりあえず見てくださいって。
Well, about that, if you wouldn't mind, could I have you take a look at this?
With a chuckle, Bond took out two large photos from a file he held in his hand and attached them to the blackboard with magnets. Whoa! A whole building disappeared.
These are both photos taken from the Cornelius Tower rooftop, location where the group dive took place.
右の写真は例のミュウツベ投稿映像から抜き出したもの。
Photo on the right was taken from the video posted on YouTube.
左のは昨日の夜、私がタワー屋上に行って撮ってきたものになります。
Photo on the left is one I took last night when I went to the tower rooftop.
何か違いに気づきませんか？
Do you notice anything different between the two?
The entire conference room began to stir.
背景がね、違うんです。
There's something different in the backdrop.
投稿映
I
像
know it's really hard to see.
北東へ向かってる。5人が転落したのが北東だったから間違いない。
The camera in the uploaded footage is pointing northeast. The 5 men and women did fall northeast, so that's not the issue.
で、映像では3分29秒から約15秒間、カメラが左右へ大きく揺れるんですが、
Regardless, at 3 minutes and 29 seconds into the video, for about 15 seconds, the camera swings left and right in multiple very large motions.
その時に東に向いた時の映像がこの右側の写真なわけです。
The picture on the right is one taken when the camera was facing to the east.
コーネリアスタワーの東、つまり六本木方面ですね。
Here we can see the East Cornelius Tower, which faces toward Roppongi.
東京タワーが夜景の中にしっかり映ってる。赤いから目立ちますね。
Tokyo Tower is clearly visible in the nightscape. The red makes it stand out pretty well.
でもね、もう一つよく目立つものが映ってないんですよ。
But you see, there's one more thing that stands out, but this time it's something that's not in the picture.
Well, it's kind of obvious. It's the first thing you see. Bond's eyes narrowed as he combed his beard with his fingers, and then with a wry smile appeared on his lips.
六本木ビルズですよ。
There's Roppongi Bills.
It was true. The lights of Roppongi Bills could not be seen in the photo he had taken from the uploaded video. In the photo Bond had taken the day prior, the lights of Roppongi Bills' many windows were very clearly visible along Tokyo Tower.
で、たまたま見つけたんですが、コーネリアスタワーのホテルロビーにタワー完成当時のパネルが展示してありましてね。
I happened to come across a few panels in the lobby of Cornelius Tower. Wednesday, we're displaying a couple photos from back when the tower was first completed.
そのパネルの一つがこれ。
This is one of those panels.
Bond retrieved a new photo from the file and pinned it next to the previous two. There's also a picture of Roppongi area taken on the rooftop of the tower. But it was not a picture taken at night, it was one taken at day.
六本木ビルズが映ってますよね。
You can see Roppongi Bills right there.
建設中ですが。
It's under construction, but my point still stands.
The commotion in the conference room grew even louder. Matsunaga, meanwhile, remained silent as he stared at the photo with a stern expression.
コーネリアスタワーの完成は2001年。六本木ビルズの完成は2003年。
Cornelius Tower was completed in 2001. Roppongi Bills was completed in 2003.
So it must have been at the end of 2001, like right before this started building.
タワー完成当時の写真では当然ながら六本木ビルズは建設中でまだ高さもほとんどない。
In the photo taken back when the tower was completed, Roppongi Bills was still under construction, and as such it wasn't quite as tall yet.
だが集団ライブが起きたのは今年2008年。
However, the year when the group dive happened was 2008.
映ってなきゃおかしいですよね。六本木ビルズ。
Wouldn't make a whole lot of sense if it wasn't there, don't you think? Roppongi Bills, that is.
ちなみに投稿映像に細工された形跡はなかった。
Oh, and another thing, there were no signs of the footage being tampered with in any way.
つまり何が言いたいんだ。
Where are you going with all this?
Having seemingly lost patience with the detective, Matsunaga urged him onward discontentedly.
It's hard to say, but I do have one theory.
まさか先輩、この映像が撮られたのは2003年以前、つまり5年以上前って言いたいんですか？
Wait, sir. Wait, sir. Are you saying that the video was taken before 2003? That means it was taken more than 5 years ago. Dang it, Sora.
Bond's shoulders slumped dejectedly. The young detective's keen insight was brilliant. Sua had said exactly what Bond intended to say. However, having said it aloud in such a straightforward manner only made the claim appear all the more dubious. Bond's careful planning on how to articulate his points had been all for nothing.
バカバカしい。小説の読みすぎではないがね。
That's idiotic. Afraid someone's been reading too many detective stories.
映像に映っている被害者5人の顔は一致しているんだ。あれが5年前のもののはずがない。
They planned it crazy ahead by bringing them up there, taking the video, and then bringing them up there again.
The faces of the 5 victims in the video were identical. There's no way the video was taken 5 years ago.
そんなつまらないことを調べている暇があったら、聞き込みの一つでもしたらどうだ、警部補。
If you got the time to scour for such trivial clues, then why don't you go do a couple of witness interviews, Assistant Inspector?
今のは聞かなかったことにする。それと、後で話があるから会議が終わったら残りたまえ。
On that note, I got something to talk to you about, so see me after the meeting.
Ouch. Ouch. God damn it. After letting out a short sigh, Bond gave up and sat back down.
Well, it's not like I expected him to believe me.
Bitter and unwilling to accept defeat, Bond muttered at the inside his head before returning to listlessly fanning his face with his handheld fan. And yet, despite all the work he had done, if one were to ask what the absence of Roppongi bills in the video signified, Bond would be unable to answer. I'll be right back, you guys. I just gotta turn off the fan. It's too cold. Jeez. Yeah, the video could absolutely be fake. After I'd found out that Nanami was alive, the doctor came to me and asked me a few simple questions. They wanted to make sure whether or not I was well enough to leave. I answered the questions to the best of my ability, then opted to leave the hospital before my mom came back. After that disgraceful behavior I showed in front of the entire country, how was I supposed to face my family now? And if Nanami were to come back, I knew that I'd be so happy. I'd immediately burst into tears all over again. And then, since she wouldn't know why I was crying, Nanami would then take it seriously and start yelling at me not to worry about her, probably while calling me an idiot too. When I thought about that, I nearly fainted from the sheer embarrassment, and so instead of letting that happen, I decided to employ a strategic retreat. Don't you want to see her and make sure? A nurse brought in the most disgusting breakfast of all time, and after chipping away at it slightly, I snuck out of the hospital room. I made my way down to the first floor and then to the lobby. The clinic hadn't opened yet, so the lobby that was usually packed with old people was completely deserted. I confidently walked toward the front entrance. Lucky for me, the automatic door opened, giving me free rein to exit the building. Hospital staff might have gotten angry with me for leaving without asking them first, but I had to stay away from the hospital until everything calmed down. As for the medical fees, I left my mom a note telling her to go ahead and pay for it, so it should be fine. Oh my god! Despite the fact that I had stayed overnight at the hospital, I wasn't exhibiting any actual symptoms. And my mental state was doing much better after I learned Nanami was alive. Making sure to keep an eye out for any ambushes by ShoUgun or Yua, I quickly made my way back to my base. I'd made it back. My mental state had done a complete 180 since I'd last been at my base. Of course, I was feeling a lot better now. If only I could have let my past self know that. You let yourself get bad far too often, mate. I rate 8 out of 8. La 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 la. There'd be no reason for you to get so riled up, dude. Nanami's fine, lol. Fui times 100. Or something along those lines. Thinking back on it, yesterday really had been a living hell. Everything had just gone to shit. I got a weird phone call in the morning. Then there'd been an earthquake. The data on my hard drive had disappeared. Then I'd had a witness eyesight try to offer herself right in front of me. Then I got an email from ShoUgun. Then he sent me a severed hand. A severed goddamn hand. My mood plummeted in an instant. With a gulp, I turned my attention to the fridge. Oh god, I can't believe it's in there. That's where the hand is. before I'd left yesterday to start in my maniacal state. Just put the hand in the fridge for the time being. I can't believe you. Oh, you think BAD is baited. I thought it was bad. Thank you, Saya. Okay, thanks. That makes sense. If I'd left it out somewhere, it could have started rotting. The smell of blood was also way too strong for me. I wouldn't want to keep that in the fridge either. There are all sorts of sci-fi anime and movies where as long as they remain frozen, people can stay in a state of suspended animation for hundreds of years. So that was pretty much what I was going for. I thought that if I could keep Nanami's arm fresh, she might be able to get it surgically reconnected when she was back home safe. But if that wasn't Nanami's hand, then who the hell did it belong to? And how would that explain the cell phone in the bank? Exactly. If it wasn't missing something, then it had to belong to Nanami. If I wasn't missing something. When I called her, rung on the cell phone in the hand. Or maybe it had been all just a part of ShoUgun's trap. Was it impossible to make just a perfect replica of Nanami's arm?
もう一度確かめてみるべきかも。
Oh boy. I'll just look one more time just to make sure. In truth, I really didn't want to. The entire hand thing grossed me out. Just thinking about it made me want to puke, even if it did belong to Nanami. But that didn't mean I could just keep it in my fridge forever. Not even my supply of cola stayed that cold in it. Jeez. I considered asking the police to come take it, but then I realized they just suspect me of being the new gen culprit. Even more than they already did, that is. It would practically be suicide to dial 110 and go, "Hello, yes, please come and take this person's severed hand off my hands, thank you." Oh my god. What should I do? Should I just throw it away? Hello T, welcome to the stream. But supposing it was Nanami's arm, it didn't really sound like a good idea to throw it away. Hell, were we even allowed to throw away human hands like that? Do they constitute as burnable or non-burnable hands? Oh my god. I tore at my hair. There was no point continuing to torture myself over it. I just go ahead and check one more time that the bangle was on her wrist and that she was holding her cell phone. Was it Nanami's or was it someone else's? That was the question I hoped to answer. I stood in front of the refrigerator and gripped the handle. I closed my eyes and then I took one, then two, then 3 deep breaths. Unexpectedly, the temptation to just call Remy and ask her to do it for me crept into my mind, but I quickly shook it away. No matter how good of an ally Remy was to me, there was no way she wouldn't freak out upon finding someone's hand in my fridge. And then if I managed to fuck up the explanation, she'd fall out of love with me and then turn me into the police. Whoa! Since when was she in love with you, dude? I think you skipped a couple of steps there. gonna have to do this on my own somehow.
くそ。
Ah, fuck. I clenched my teeth, took 2 more deep breaths, and then I yanked open the handle with all my might.
あれ
Oranges? It was empty. Entirely empty. I mean, it's very possible someone took it. I thought for sure I put the hand in there yesterday. It had been wrapped in aluminum foil. It should have been on the top shelf. And yet there was no sign of it. All there were a few bottles of cola and a bunch of rotten clementines and nothing else.
消えた。なんで
It's gone. How? Just like that, it was completely gone. Same, Seiya. I thought it'd be gone too. It could have very well been stolen while he was at the hospital. I crouched down and looked further into the refrigerator. But of course, it still wasn't there. There wasn't much in there to begin with, so it was already practically empty. There's no way I could have missed it.
昨日ここに入れたよな。
I put it in here yesterday, didn't I? Or maybe I just assumed that. In reality, I left it somewhere. I closed the fridge door and looked around my trash-filled
段
room.
ボールもない。
Call the phone again. The cardboard box is gone, too. The large cardboard box with a hand inside of it. What had I done with it? Felt like I tossed it in the corner of my room or something, but either way, my memory of last night was very unclear. More things had happened yesterday than my poor brain could handle, and everything was making all the more brutal due to the utter chaos of it all. Calm down, just calm down. Now get your thoughts together. Think of why it might have disappeared. I booted up the word processor on my PC and wrote down all the possibilities I could think of. My mistake, I took it out. ShoUgun took it back. The police station hasn't confiscated it. Mass media broke in and stole it. Hand never existed in the first place. My base had been unlocked ever since yesterday, so if someone really wanted to, they could have come right in and take it without much trouble. Exactly. That would also be consistent with how ShoUgun had been able to put that hand in my room in the first place. Or maybe it was number 2. My memory of when I left my base to go to O-Front was unclear. I'm feeling I had to say to Nami. Seeing the severed hand. How terrified I was of ShoUgun. All these emotions swirled around me, invading each and every corner of my mind. I couldn't calm down at all. Maybe I just left my base and tossed a hand in a dumpster somewhere without knowing. Or maybe this whole hand thing in general just been a delusion. It didn't actually exist at all. But when I went to check my email, I found the one I got from ShoUgun yesterday did in fact exist. And that email clearly stated the hand was a present. Not to mention that ShoUgun himself had talked about it yesterday. I just couldn't believe that it had all been just a delusion. Okay, then what about the possibility that the police or the media took it? Those people look at otaku freaks like we were no better than shit smeared on the bottom of their shoes, so it wouldn't surprise me. After everything that happened yesterday, I was afraid to look at the internet. And yet in the end, I couldn't help myself, so I clicked open my browser. Let's see. What is the news about that? About him? First, I checked the news section of it on Taboo. Well, the news sites I typically go to. And sure enough, there are articles upon articles about the uproar yesterday at Scramble Crossing. In the radio wave hijacking Esper Just a Boy Who Cried Wolf, the ESP show held by the new generation boy ended in the worst possible way. Okay, let's see. Broadcastings. Two stations were immediately flooded with call after protesting the decision. Jeez, I can't believe they fucking broadcast him as well when the earthquake was going on. When Jason was a disappointing end to the show, there were nearly 5,000 fans, and all began to boo loudly for over an hour. Okay, let's see. Oh, N. The commotion began over a prank email sent by a boy, hereby referred to as N, living in Shibuya Ward. At first, news stations were skeptical of the email, claiming that the boy was a clairvoyant Esper who could see the culprit in the new gen madness. A popular name for a series of brutal incidents taking place in Shibuya. However, when American psychic detective Yuri Brightman, age 43, informed Today TV and Fujisan TV that he was willing to become the boy's legal guardian, both stations immediately took him at his word, or so the story goes. Oh my god. Wow. That's insane. Let's see. According to Otaku Culture Report, Professor Hashiba Yoshiro of Meisei University, there's been a rapid increase in the number of young people who dream of becoming heroes. The pursuit of that dream acts with no regard to the world around them. Under the influence of anime, video games, and other similarly damaging media, they have lost the ability to distinguish between fantasy and reality. It's like what's causing them to act in such a way. They require psychological care. I mean, if you get addicted to anything, that happens if you get addicted to anything, not just fucking video games and shit. That's such a stupid thing to blame like an entire type of media in general, rather than like a subset of it. Like, oh my god. Yeah, Yuri Brightman never even contacted him. What is this Yuri Brightman stuff? I wonder if we're ever gonna see Yuri Brightman, or if he's just like a parody of Yuri Geller or something. Oh yeah, you're right. However, the boy starring in the show N did not turn out to be an Esper. He repeatedly riled up the audience by motioning like he was going to jump off the building. Performance did not extend beyond that. My god, that's sick that they didn't even try to like set up something for him to jump into. Undeterred, the media companies dared to get out on the rooftop to report the situation, attempt to get a comment about the new gen incidents. But they were unsuccessful. The boys had come down and collapsed on the rooftop, holding a moe anime figure and costume from popular Hollywood film. Jeez. Steins Gate spoiled you. As ratings restored, highest simultaneous viewership. That sounds a good way to, do a brainwashing type thing through that. My god. 40%. Astonishing figures passing even that of Kohaku Ring in the new year. Jesus Christ. My god, Takumi, you're sadly popular because of this. Oh my god. I hadn't sent any emails to the media. He's been framed massively. I'd never even seen Yuri Brightman's show, let alone met him. So what the hell? Was this all just a part of ShoUgun's plan like I'd originally thought? What was his ultimate goal here? He'd said something about being a quest or something. Okay, then what was the point of having the mass media televise me trying to get my hands on a sword? I didn't get it. What was Shogun trying to accomplish? He's even releasing Nami alive. Zako. YouTube. Oh, jeez. I followed links to various articles, even after reading through all of them. Not a single one of them mentioned Shogun. There had been practically no gap at all between when I attacked Shogun when the media had come bursting onto the rooftop. Even if Shogun had managed to escape during that window, the media would have seen him. But someone must have been there to push him out in the bad endings. And not only that, but Shogun was supposed to be stuck in a wheelchair. He was supposed to be paralyzed. There's absolutely no way he would have been able to escape the rooftop in such a limited time frame. I went to check @channel. And to no one's surprise, an enormous shitstorm was going on. My real name was being plastered everywhere. It is I, Anonymous. The uniform that the Shijo dumbass is rocking Suime, isn't it? Are there any Suime students in this thread right now? Oh my god, jeez. That guy's a terminal fucktard. Dude's all baby, obviously a piece of human trash, Lamau. Shijo, you need to chill out. Chill the fuck out, fuck's sake. It'll be your fault if Otakas start getting beat up again. Again? When did they stop? Jeez. That you're implying that they ever stopped at one point. Like, they found him carrying a figure? Lol. Got him SEIRA blood team figure, Lamafau, what the fuck? And just like that, otaku freaks around the world all just shed a tear. This Shijo fucker should just stay inside like the shouldn't he is. TV's not for him, lol. SEIRA would be like, Nishijo, you big dum-dum. Time for me to kick your fat butt with my awakened form rocket body blow attack.
Utsuda.
Old. Some rando was a classmate of his last year already came out and doxed the guy. Jeez, what the fuck? Wait. Huh? Whoa! I can't do this. Oh god, we need fucking Ayase here. Everyone was just saying whatever the hell they wanted to. They weren't even considering how I felt as they talked all this shit about me. Having @channel as your enemy was a scary thing. Hell yeah, definitely. And it was all Shogun's fault I was in this mess. I'd watched my email and all my accounts. You probably tried to get hacked in some way, I bet. Oh boy. I was wondering if anyone had leaked any sensitive information onto @channel. Stuff that couldn't be aired on TV. I couldn't find anything that fit the criteria. I hadn't been alone on that rooftop. There had been one more person, and yet not a shred of information had come out on them. Hello, Joshua. Welcome to the stream. It was almost like the being known as Shogun had never been there in the first place. Somebody had to have been there to push him off in the bad ending, though. Maybe the Shogun that appeared on the rooftop was just an illusion. Maybe even if I know for a fact that he exists, there's a possibility that Shogun I saw at O-Front was just a delusion I created.
僕はやっぱり病気なのかも。
Oh god. I think I'm losing my mind. There were so many things happening that shouldn't have been possible in real life. It's more like a video game at this point. Haha, I get it. Like there were two worlds, one where Nanami was alive and one where she was dead. Oh my god. Jeez. Oh my god! You're spoiling Steins Gate! And the two options were running parallel to one another, meaning I got to choose between them, just like I chose you find in NoaH. Oh my god. Wow. Cheeky foreshadowing Steins Gate here. The future was divided into countless different branches. And what made me different from normal people is that I could simulate what story events might occur using my delusions, as in the middle of simulating the route that would lead to the bad ending. Like one where Nanami died, one where I escaped him to her death, or one where I fell off Ofriend and died. In other words, for some reason, all these things that you normally find in the bad ending route could be coming after me, almost like they were hunting me down due to the trap I myself had set. Oof. Maybe I just had the desire to leave behind my boring, uneventful life and go to a more exciting world, like one from a game. And because of that, I've been unconsciously showing myself what that world would look like. Stein's head. It's too funny, you guys. That couldn't be it. I didn't have any desires even remotely like that. Or at the very least, I would never want to make myself go through analyzing. As go through anything that made me feel sad or scared, simulation or not.
っていうか、どれだけ想像力豊かなんだよ。
Besides, the power of imagination can only take you so far. What I've been considering was nothing more than some childish bullshit delusion I'd come up with it without thinking. I sighed, leaned back in my chair, looked up at the ceiling with a blank stare on my face. Reality isn't set in stone. Anything and everything just felt fake. The world I was living in was completely hollow. River Shibuya Ward, the woman died of asphyxiation after consuming the flesh of her own right hand. What? No! Lodged itself in her throat? Oh my god. At around, oh my god. Oh no. Was this the girl that ShoUgun took the hand from? Oh my god. At around 8 p.m. this evening, the body of a woman was found dead in the Shibuya River of Shibuya Ward. Oh my god. The victim, 27-year-old Tokata Ayami-san of Edogawa Ward, is believed to have died of choking-induced asphyxiation.
警察の調べによりますと、被害者の右手の肉が削り取られて骨が露出しており、また胃の中からは人間の肉とみられる内容物が見つかりました。
Revive Wade. According to the investigation, the flesh of the victim's right hand had been scraped off, exposing the bone, and what appeared to be human flesh was found in the victim's stomach. Oh my god!
被害者は自らの右手を噛みちぎって食べたとみられ、また足首が紐で縛られていたとのことです。
That sounds like mind control to me.
自殺、他殺の両面から捜査を進めています。
The victim is believed to have chewed apart and eaten her own right hand. As well as this, her ankles were bound together by string. The police are currently investigating this incident as both a suicide and a homicide. Finger food. God. Oh my god. Well, that doesn't sound like what happened to Nanami, because Nanami was like a full ass hand, not like something that the skin was eaten off. This is almost like a premonition of what happened to that lady. So this is what the real Shogun has been doing while ShoUgun was like fucking around with Takumi. The real Shogun was doing that. Something very similar. Ever since the seismic intensity 5 earthquake, the city of Shibuya had been overwhelmed with an air of pure bloodlust. The sense of order in the city had been visibly deteriorating. This decrease in security was not just regarding fights among young people, but the increasing number of store windows being broken as well as a large surge in theft. The media continued to use their term new generation in order to establish a feeling of crisis and entrapment. In response to this fear-mongering, hangar full of stores had abruptly ceased operations. I mean, how are they going to even freaking... Oh, my God. They charged the police for... Wow, they mobbed up the police for not following through with the case. My God. In addition, a group calling themselves the Anti-Nugent had suddenly transformed into a riotous mob during one of their weekly demonstrations. This also could have been due to mind control, charging the Shibuya police station and resulting in the arrest of 100 people. I do wonder. So, Shogun, the original Shogun, maybe someone like an advanced user of the mind control node thingy. For Nozomi. Like they're probably like either another gigalomaniac or like a very advanced user of the mind control node thingy. Much like the Esper Boy riot, thousands upon thousands of curious onlookers gathered in the area in order to join yet another shitstorm. Jeez. Are they trying to get martial law declared so they can like seize power? Is that what their goal is? It seemed like that might be Nozomi's goal, like to get martial law declared. There was a striking difference in excitement between those who were visiting the city and those who lived in it. The former expected Shibuya to be more brutally eventful than ever, while the latter condemned the lawlessness of their home and insisted on strengthening police authority. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Then, as if to mock all the uproar, the 6th New Gen incident occurred. Of course, the perpetrator had yet to be apprehended. It had been a week since the earthquake, and in that period of time I had been suspended from school. Even if I hadn't been suspended, I wouldn't have been in the proper mental state to go to school anyway. The day immediately following the earthquake, another New Gen incident had occurred. That incident, just like the murder of Dr. Takashina, was obviously supposed to send a message to me. It was a woman who had bitten off her own right hand. There was no doubt in my mind that it was supposed to allude to Nanami's severed right hand. Nanami was clear bait from Shogun to lure me out. But even though I knew that, the thought that Nanami could have been the one killed shivers down my spine. And since I had become famous in Shibuya in the worst sense of the word, I was now more terrified of going out than ever. Yes, seriously. My God. Like someone who wouldn't want to be known is now known by everybody? That's horrible. Oh God, Takumi. If I had a hole to crawl into, I would have done it with no hesitation. Even going to the convenience store to buy food for myself killed me, and that had been entire days when I went without eating. Oh my God. It was impossible for me to walk outside with my head not glued to the ground. It always felt like someone was laughing at me. Gazes of other people terrified me. I didn't want to talk to anyone, to see anyone. People from the mass media had been trying to bother me constantly, but I ignored every single one of them. I hadn't called my parents nor to talk to Nanami. You really should talk to Nanami. Yeah, I hadn't been playing ESO either. If somehow got out that I was Nightheart, I would have been absolutely fucked. It had been 1 week now. Yeah, you gotta wait until it blows over. Was that enough time for everything to cool down? I'd wait at least a month. Or until another big thing happens. People always say, oh, they'll forget about it in a month. But hopefully it doesn't actually take that long. And I mean, trends did go by extremely quickly these days. Slang people use become obsolete by the next year. Even net slang and memes that people used online died out in a couple of months. Television set out heroes, idols, villains, or whatever else out to excite the public. As soon as it found them and consumed them for all that they're worth, then promptly discarded them. Even the new gen cases, which have been going on for 6 cases now, are quieting down. No one even talked about the first case on that channel anymore. Everything faded from people's memories in the blink of an eye. Which was why I was hoping that in the past week, everything that had happened to me had already faded from the public consciousness, just like some passing trend. I don't know, Takumi, it seems like it's too soon. Even if it was just wishful thinking, I couldn't help but hope it might be true. My head and stomach start to pang. I sat down at my usual bench and calmed myself down. SEIRA would know what to— No!
そんなに苦しむぐらいならもう学校になんか行くのやめればいいっしょ
Fuck you. Fuck you. If it's causing you so much pain, just stop going to school, don't you think? I was at the point where I was starting to consider, yeah, I think like anybody would consider it at that point. I mean, due to the worsening security, more and more people have been opting out of school in the Shibuya ward, so it wouldn't just be me. And I'd always thought that it made no difference whether or not I graduated. So much so I'd be willing to drop out of school right now. But despite that, I still plan to continue going, even if it meant risking running into Yua. I can't believe he still thinks Yua and ShoUgun are in cahoots. Ah, jeez. I gulped down a cola I'd bought at a vending machine on the way to the park and stood up from the bench. I should just stop kidding myself. I didn't want to go to school, but I didn't want to quit it either. Because if I quit school... Remy, we haven't seen you in a while. I wouldn't be able to see Remy anymore. We were classmates, so as long as I kept going to school, I'd be able to see her without going out of my way to do so. But if I lost that, I could just call her or go meet with her directly. But like I said, that would mean I'd have to go out of my way to contact her. And I knew for a fact I couldn't do that. Oh, Takumi. In fact, I already hadn't been able to bring myself to see her for a while now.
私が一緒にいてあげる。
I'll stay by your side. That was what Remy had promised me. I noticed her for over 10 days now, not a single word. Yeah, what is up with that? The thought that Remy, my one and only ally, might have fallen out of love with me after seeing my disgusting behavior on TV, it destroyed me. I hope she's not ShoUgun. Maybe she was, and him not grabbing the D-sword, like, vaporized her. Oh, God. I was terrified. I felt like crying, and I had never felt so alone. No one, not even Anami, had come to see me. I was being subjected to thread after thread of endless slander on the internet, scared shitless by even the idea of ShoUgun and Yua. And well, I said before I didn't want to see anyone, the loneliness was eating away at me. I wanted Remy to come and see me. I wanted her to hug me gently and tell me it'll all be okay. It must have been so hard, but I'm here now, she would say. In the end, Remy had spoiled me rotten. Aww. But she wasn't in the wrong for doing so. Remy had taught me the warmth that 3D could have. And now that I knew what warmth felt like, I'd never stopped wishing for it ever since. I couldn't get that kind of peace from 2D or delusions anymore. I couldn't survive on just my delusions. I wanted to see her. When I passed through the school gate, I hadn't noticed any particular change in the atmosphere. That is to say, no one had noticed me. I entered the building and started up the stairs. A girl I didn't recognize went to pass me. Just before she did, she let out an audible "ah!" and looked at me with pity in her eyes. I walked up the hallway where my classroom was located. Several windows were broken. I could feel people's gazes mercilessly burning through me as they whispered. At that moment, I was hit with a very bad feeling. My wishful thinking was already on the verge of shattering to pieces. But even so, I opened the door to my classroom, fueled by my one desire, to see Remy. Oh, okay, see. You know what, guys? I think this might be a good place to stop, unless, here we go. Unless you guys think otherwise, I think this is a good place to stop for today. Oh boy, things are just getting crazier and more confusing, and I have no idea. I really have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, I really don't know who is, like who's real, who's not, like, what the actual connection, like, between the D swords and the mind control and, like, the bringing illusions to life thing is. It's like, oh my god, it's all jumbled up. You guys, so it's a good spot. Thanks, Nagitona. Thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow is Library of Arena, and we'll continue this on Sunday. So until then, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You're all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.